evening, folks. It's a record breaker today, I tell you. It is officially the coldest day of the year. Yesterday had been the coldest day of the year, but today has now broken that record. It's minus 25 today, which still isn't even that cold, but it's the coldest day of the year. 2 weeks ago, we even had the warmest day of the year. It was plus 9, and here we are now back in the winter wonderland. It's so cold, in fact, that I didn't even open the hatch and let the chickens out of the chicken house today. Anyways, I just come in here to check on their water, which they've appeared to have all drank up. So I'm gonna let them out for a little bit, go refill their water. And then it looks like I gotta come back in and get some eggs. So chickens. So one of my favorite YouTube channels is called Sow the Land. Jason and Lorraine there, they have a 1.5 acre homestead in North Carolina. And they are running an online chicken processing workshop, which I thought was super awesome. They would usually do this right on their homestead, but they're unable to now because of all the gathering restrictions and stuff. So they're gonna do it online. And there's obviously a small fee to attend. They announced this on Facebook the other day, and I thought, well, that's awesome, right? There's lots of folks getting into chickens, getting into trying to raise their own, grow their own food. It's a super awesome thing they're doing, but there's a small fee, right? As there usually is. I mean, it's a business, right? How are folks supposed to make a living? Anyways, when you put a thing on the internet, it doesn't come without its fair share of negative Nancys. And one lady had commented that, oh, I can't believe you're charging people to show them how to, basically process a chicken for them to eat it. Well, okay, so the old saying is, if you give a man a fish, you can feed him for a day, and if you teach a man to fish, he'll feed himself for life. Nonsense. There's no way I'm gonna give a man a fish. I'll sell a man a fish, and the next day he can come back and he can buy another fish. Or if he wants, because I have a certain skill set, he can come and learn that skill set for a fee, and then he can go away and learn, obviously execute the fishing by himself. But nothing comes for free. Anyways, I just thought it was really unfair of this person to kind of berate them for obviously putting on an awesome course and helping people gain knowledge and how to, be more self-sustaining, raise better food. And it's folks like that. I wish they would just choke on a pin feather. I really do. And maybe that's a mean thing to say. I don't know. But so if you want to know how smart sheep are, look at these two in the back. They could go up the round bale and eat through the fence, but no. They got to push their way until they're completely inside the fence. Now everybody else gets a grain treat, but not June and not Nellie because they can't behave appropriately. Never mind, apparently June can get out. Nellie's trying to find a way out right now. We'll see what she figures out here. Come on, Nellie. Get out of there. You can do it. I believe in you. There you go. Crazy sheep. All right, so I just came back in from the house and I put all our washed eggs in the fridge. They're ready to go to some happy customers. And I just want to revisit my earlier comments about teaching a man to fish and how they can just come buy a fish. And I don't want that to be misconstrued or taken out of context, because that would probably keep me awake at night. I'm not trying to say be uncharitable. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm talking specifically about is people that have the ability and the means to better their situation, and whether they either choose not to or there's some other influence that makes it so they don't. That in and of itself is one issue. The secondary issue from that is when those individuals then hack on somebody else who does put in the work, right? And that's the key to success. That's the difference, honestly, that's the big difference between hobby farming and homesteading is, are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to make the sacrifices, put in the hours, and literally blood, sweat, and tears? The other thing to consider is the homesteading community is a very, very diverse group of people from all different backgrounds, all different life experiences. And we're not all going to do things the same way, right? We are going to disagree on some things. Some things that we found to work on our homestead are not going to work at all on somebody else's, right? And that doesn't mean that we're wrong or they're wrong. It's just that different circumstances, different environments, different inputs, different outcomes. That's just the way the world works. So with that, what's super important is to remember to be a community, right? We're a bunch of like-minded individuals. We all have different goals. We all have different reasons for doing what we're doing. But a lot of it is, you know, when you think about all the negativity in the world, that's a common reason why we're doing what we're doing, is to get away from that kind of stuff, right? To be a little bit more self-sustaining, self-reliant, and not have to deal with all the bullshit in the world. So just do you. Don't worry about anybody else's nonsense, because yeah, it doesn't matter where you're at in the world. Somebody's going to have something to say about it. I heard it said once that you know, you're always going to be the bad guy in somebody else's story. So I just always said, well, okay, well, that's fine, but I'm going to stop lending my pen to other people so they can't write about me. So ultimately what that means is just, I mean, number one, don't engage, right? You don't have to wear the costume that somebody else picks out for you. Certainly not, right? Let their negativity, let them own that. That belongs to them. It's not yours to have to carry. Anyways, with that said, it's time for me to go do my usual routine of self-care. I've got to go fix up a cup of tea. So I'll let you go for now. I hope you have a fantastic evening. We'll see you tomorrow.